Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Broku, and it's another Black Clover chapter review. The review of Black Clover chapter 267, titled The Devil Binding Ritual. Now, I want to apologize, guys. Usually I do get my reviews out on Sunday, but I went camping this weekend. It was nice to be away from civilization for several days, having basically no access to the internet. But basically what happened is I ended up getting back home a bit too late on Sunday night, and my laptop was at the office, so I didn't really want to go make the review. It would have been, pushed pretty late anyway, so just waited to release the review today on Monday. And so yeah, I'm going to give you my thoughts of this chapter. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I also want to remind you guys I am an online personal trainer, so if you want to hire me as your personal trainer, I'll leave a link to my website down below in the description. Again, running a fall sale, reducing the price, so if you want to get in shape by the spring or the summer, hire me. With that being said, let's get into the review. So, we get the anti-magic devil revealed, and it shows him even more, and yes, he does look like a Asta, essentially, basically a elven devil corrupted version of Asta. And this is his words. It's been forever since I was in the physical world. Now, you probably remember last week I made that theory about the anti-magic devil being Lick Jr. I think this chapter actually backs that up potentially even more, especially when he says it's been forever since I was in the physical world. My theory would basically include that Lick Jr. was in the physical world at one point, so I think that this very could well be Lick Jr. as the anti-magic devil. Now, as Asta sees him, he's like, there's something I want to tell you. I've been wanting to tell you for a while. And Asta thanks the anti-magic devil. And Asta talks about how his power had saved him in fights over and over and over again, so he thanks him so much. But the anti-magic devil is kind of mocking him, calling him an idiot, and saying that that's why he's about to kill him. But Asta says he's not going to let him do that, and he calls the anti-magic devil out for pretending to be tall, as if you remember when in the battle against the Ladros in the Witch's Forest, the anti-magic devil portrayed himself to be a giant, yet Asta's saying we're about the same height. And it's really funny, but again, the anti-magic devil calls him a fool. And from here, the anti-magic devil recalls the grimoire from Asta's pocket, and then pulls out the Demon Slayer sword and imbues it with anti-magic. And he's just effortlessly destroying Asta. He makes a pretty big black divider out of it, and he's not even holding the sword. He is just basically moving the sword with, like, telekinesis, pretty much. Probably just because he's controlling the anti-magic. And he hits Asta in the face with the black divider. It knocks him back. And the anti-magic devil said he's going to be taking all of Asta now, not just his arm. And well, Asta says he doesn't want to fight. Nox says you have to fight. That the whole reason they're here is for him to become stronger. And then if Asta loses, he will become a grotesque monster. It looks like he'd be something like Licked, but also even more so like the beings featured in the Cliff-Off image. It looks a lot like it in terms of that face. Basically, all the bones in the altar, as stated by Noct, were those of failed devil binding rituals. And if Asta fails, his face is going to be up there as well. Asta's like, wait, this is forbidden magic. And he's like, Noct, we're not really supposed to be doing this. And then Noct's like, well, we have 2 days. Do you think you get that much stronger in a actual time frame by decent methods? And he says that you need to enter this world to get stronger. And Noct says you need to keep fighting or else he's going to kill you. That Asta says he's not trying to kill me. I can tell from his ki. So for some reason the anti-magic devil is not trying to kill Asta. And this kind of brings Noct to some sort of, like, he's not really shocked, but he's just questioning. He's like, what are you talking about? Your opponent is a devil. There's no such thing as a devil with principles. And then the anti-magic devil laughs, and he's like, that's right. Every devil out there is a total scumbag. And Asta thinks to himself, this guy isn't like the devil I fought before. And this would mean, basically from his ki, that the anti-magic devil is really not evil. And the devil threatens, I'm going to steal your body, and then Asta says, just because you're a devil doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad guy. And then the anti-magic devil looks, he sees an afterimage of a woman next to Asta, and then the anti-magic devil says, damn it, and his lips look like they're like quivering, like he's sad. and then he sees something that looks like a female version of Asta saying, "You aren't a bad guy." Now, this is probably Asta's mom, definitely somebody that's blood related to Asta, and this is seemingly someone that the anti-magic devil knew. And, well, this person didn't think that the anti-magic devil was a bad guy. And so this brought back a flashback. Now, we can pretty much confirm almost that this woman was in that flashback that either Asta or the anti-magic devil had when fighting Dante, as it's a woman, and she has the same exact collar on her shirt as the woman featured in that one. So it's either this person is the mother of the anti-magic devil or it's the mother of Asta. So this kind of goes in line with my theory that this anti-magic devil is Licht Jr. and either Licht Jr. is you have Licht Jr. and then there's Asta. Asta is his body was supposed to be the host for Licht Jr.'s soul, or this is one of the other theories, is that Licht Jr. is the father of Asta, and that is why Asta and Licht Jr. look so much alike. And also this would show why Asta looks so much like this woman here. Now, one of the things I'm maybe theorizing in my head is when she's saying that Licht Jr., or the anti-magic devil more likely, is "you aren't a bad guy," I wouldn't be surprised if when we get more of this flashback, hopefully in the next chapter that's coming only in a few days, that maybe she's not actually pointing at this devil. She's pointing at Licht Jr. in his original human-elven hybrid state. As at this point, depending on the timelines, she could have the knowledge from the kingdom that elves are bad, and yet she sees Licht Jr., if that is his name or whatever, and he's a human-elven hybrid, so half elven, and probably people would see him as elven and not human, that he's not a bad guy. So maybe this is what's going on here, is this is before the anti-magic devil, his fall to becoming a devil, and now we have people questioning, who or what happened here. Like, is that memory, was that Asta's, or was that the anti-magic devil's? Because we know the anti-magic devil now has memories of this woman who looks just like Asta, because that woman when shown. Is Dante killing Asta's mom, or whoever this girl is? Is this what caused maybe Licht Jr., who was a human-elven hybrid, to go into despair and become a dark elf and then eventually become a devil? Is that what happened here? Is this guy Asta's father? Or is this just Licht's son, and Asta was supposed to be the host brought back by the reincarnation magic? It's all a lot of stuff that I cannot wait to see happening in the next chapter that hits in just a few days. So this week's chapter comes early, so I'm incredibly excited to see what happens here, what happens after, what to see more of this flashback. But I wouldn't be surprised if my theory that the anti-magic devil is Licht Jr. is proven right very, very soon. And that would be, I think, a very cool twist. And people are saying that the anti-magic devil looking like Asta is lame, but there's going to be a reason behind it. He's not just going to look like Asta just to look like Asta. It's either going to be he is related to Asta, or Licht Jr. was, the son of Licht, and then Asta, his body, was supposed to be that host for that soul, but then it turned out that Licht Jr. survived. And this brings to another point that I kind of failed to mention in my theory, is that did Licht Jr. have anti-magic, or was able to use the fifth leaf clover grimoire of the anti-magic grimoire because his magic was stolen? That magic device theoretically should have also stolen magic from Tetia, and then stolen magic from the surviving child, which would be maybe Licht Jr. So maybe Licht Jr. had literally zero magic, and that's why he was able to use. But then again, that would go against my theory partially, because then he wouldn't have the wind spirit. So we're just really excited to see what happens soon. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below, everybody. And do leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...